The 8 most insane high-performance American wagons ever built. Welcome back to Classic American Auto. If you think wagons are just boring family haulers, think again. Back in the golden era of muscle cars, some manufacturers stuffed big V8s into these long-roofed beasts, creating some of the most ridiculous high-performance wagons ever made. And since most of them were daily drivers, very few survived, making these cars incredibly rare today. From Chevy to Plymouth, here are 7 of the craziest American muscle wagons ever built. Number 8, 1973 Chevrolet Chevelle SS 454 wagon. Most people forget about the Chevelle after the 1972 model, but the 73 wagon was an absolute sleeper. The new design featured bigger bumpers and a more squared-off look, but what really mattered was under the hood. While most Chevelle wagons came with the smaller V8s, a select few were equipped with the legendary 454 cubic inch, that's 7.4 liters folks, turbojet V8, making 245 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque. A handful of these even came with a 4-speed manual, which made it one of the coolest family haulers of the era. But here's the catch. Chevrolet only built around 70 SS 454 wagons in 1973, making them extremely rare today. If you were lucky enough to get one with the third row, rear-facing jump seats, you had a proper muscle wagon that could haul kids and groceries while laying down some serious rubber. Number 7, 1957 Chevrolet Fuel-Injected Nomad. If we're talking about iconic wagons, the Tri-5 Chevy Nomad is at the top of the list. With its gorgeous 2-door design, chrome trim, and unmistakable lines, it was already a head-turner. But in 1957, Chevrolet did something insane. They offered the Nomad with the 283 cubic inch, that's 4.6 liter, ramjet fuel-injected V8, making 283 horsepower, a groundbreaking 1 horsepower per cubic inch. This was the same engine found in the Corvette, meaning you could get serious performance in a stylish family wagon. Buyers could choose between a 3-speed automatic or a 4-speed manual, making it even more fun to drive. Only 1,000 fuel-injected Nomads were built, making them one of the rarest and most collectible wagons ever. If you see one at an auction, be ready to drop some serious cash if you want one. If you love classic cars, pickups, engines, and all things muscle cars as much as we do, go ahead and subscribe so you don't miss out. Number 6, 1966 Ford Country Squire 428 wagon. Chevy wasn't the only one making high-performance wagons. Ford had their own muscle wagon in the form of the Country Squire, and in 1966 they offered it with a 428 cubic inch, 7.0 liter V8, pushing 345 horsepower. That's right, this massive wood-paneled station wagon packed the same engine as the Thunderbird and some Mustangs. Then, in 1969, Ford replaced the 428 with the 429 cubic inch, 7.0 liter V8, making up to 360 horsepower in 4-barrel form. These wagons were 8-seaters thanks to the unique rear-facing third-row seats, making them one of the biggest, baddest family haulers of the era. Want a 4-speed manual? Well, you'd have to know someone at Ford to special order one. Only one 4-speed Country Squire 428 has ever been documented. If you ever come across it, you've found the holy grail of muscle wagons. Number 5, 1970 Buick Estate Wagon 455. This absolute classic was considered the perfect blend of luxury and muscle. Under the hood sat a 455 cubic inch, 7.5 liter V8, producing 370 horsepower and a staggering 510 foot-pounds of torque. More torque than most muscle cars of its era. This wasn't just a massive engine in a wagon. It was a premium family hauler, packed with high-end features like power windows, air conditioning, and an electric tailgate window. Despite its performance, the estate wagon flew under the radar. Buick only built around 20,000 units before moving to a larger platform, making these wagons incredibly rare today. If you spot one with the original 455 under the hood, you're looking at one of the most underrated muscle wagons ever made. With its mix of power, space, and luxury, the Estate Wagon 455 proved that family cars could be just as thrilling as their two-door muscle car cousins. Number 4, 1970 Dodge Monaco Wagon 383 440. Next up is this iconic Dodge, known as one of the biggest and baddest full-size wagons of its time, offering both power and practicality. As part of Dodge's top-tier Monaco lineup, this long-roof cruiser came standard with a 383 cubic inch, 6.3-liter V8, making 290 horsepower and 390 foot-pounds of torque. For those who wanted even more muscle, Dodge offered the 440 cubic inch, 7.2-liter Magnum V8, cranking out 375 horsepower and 480 foot-pounds of torque. The same engine found in the Charger RT. Paired with the TorqueFlite 727 3-speed automatic, the Monaco wagon could haul more than just groceries. It could roast tires too. Despite its massive size, the torsion bar front suspension and heavy-duty leaf springs give it surprisingly decent handling. The hidden headlamps, chrome trim, and optional wood grain paneling gave it a sleek, upscale look. With its massive power and luxurious features, the 1970 Dodge Monaco Wagon 440 was a true Mopar sleeper. Today, these wagons are incredibly rare, making them a prized find for enthusiasts looking for a high-performance family hauler. Number 3, 1972 Pontiac Tempest Wagon 400. Pontiac wasn't about to let Chevy and Ford dominate the muscle wagon game. Enter this 70s favorite, sleeper, family hauler packing serious power. Under the hood, you could get a 400 cubic inch, that's 6.6 liters, V8, making 250 horsepower and 325 foot-pounds of torque. While those numbers may not seem crazy, this was essentially a GTO engine stuffed into a station wagon, making it far more capable than your average grocery getter. What set the Tempest wagon apart was its aggressive styling. With the optional Rally 2 wheels, dual exhaust, and hood scoops, it looked meaner than most family cars of the era. Some lucky buyers even got theirs with a 4-speed manual, transforming it into a true enthusiast's machine. With only a handful built, these wagons are extremely rare today. If you ever find one, you're looking at one of the most unique muscle wagons Pontiac ever produced, one that could haul kids, cargo, and serious speed. Number 2, Oldsmobile Vista Cruiser 455. If you wanted the ultimate road trip muscle wagon, this cruiser was the way to go. With its raised roof and panoramic skylight windows, it was one of the most unique wagons of its time. But don't let the family-friendly design fool you. Under the hood, you could get a 455 cubic inch, that's 7.5 liters, folks, V8, making 275 to 300 horsepower and 370 to 500 foot-pounds of torque, depending on the year. That's right, no lightweight. This was a torque monster that could tow, haul, and outrun plenty of cars at a stoplight. Pair it with the optional TH400 3-speed automatic, and you had one of the most comfortable highway cruisers of the era. These wagons are still loved today, especially by enthusiasts who want muscle car power with extra practicality. If you ever see one with wood paneling and those iconic roof windows, know that you're looking at a piece of classic American muscle history. And at number 1, we have the 1964 to 1972 Dodge Coronet and Plymouth Belvedere 383 4-speed wagons. We couldn't wrap up this list without showing Mopar some love. From 1964 to 1972, Dodge and Plymouth quietly built a handful of Coronet and Belvedere wagons that packed serious muscle. These long roof sleepers came with the 383 cubic inch, 6.3 liter V8, pushing 300 horsepower and 410 foot-pounds of torque. Paired with a 4-speed manual transmission, these wagons could light up the rear tires, even with a full load of passengers and groceries in the back. What makes these Mopar wagons so special is their rarity. Nobody knows exactly how many were built, but estimates suggest that fewer than 100 factory 4-speed models rolled off the assembly line. That makes them some of the rarest muscle wagons ever produced. If you ever come across one of these unicorns, buy it immediately, because chances are you'll never see another one again. A 4-speed Mopar wagon isn't just a car, it's a piece of automotive muscle history. We've done it again, brought you 8 of the wildest high-performance wagons ever built. These cars prove that muscle wasn't just for coupes and sedans. Even the family haulers got in on the action. Which one was your favorite? Let us know in the comments, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more awesome car content. Until next time, keep those engines revving, and watch for the next video from Classic American Auto.